I think we need to talk about AI as designers, not in terms of, oh, here's how I use AI in my everyday work, or here are the 10 ways how AI boosted my productivity. So now, even when it just look at the Figma, it just does it by itself. I mean, looking at AI as a feature, a service that we design and provide to our users and customers. I probably will kick off the video with just saying what I think is that it's time for us to go back to correct design processes that we usually use when we want to bring new feature, new product, or improve anything. But now we have to go back and apply this to AI. AI is still a big new thing and everybody's trying to add it. I get it. I get it. I'm not anti AI here. All I'm trying to say is that I'm afraid that it's putting like this sticker and saying now we have AI might be not enough already. I worked with the clients and they have this whole platform related to financial disclosures, overall like taxation forms, submitting those, so many things they do. And they added the AI. What I mean is that like it's so hard for them and will be hard to compete with big AI models and AI companies that just like all they do, it's like the AI is the product. How can you expect any company that wants to bring AI to their service to compete with Claude, with Perplexity, with ChatGPT? And the only thing they can do is just make sure that AI that is built in the system is niche enough to their specific customer base and their product so that right users they still can go and use these like big AI models, but if they want like an AI that is really niche and is very targeted and crafted towards what they do on a daily basis in various programs, this is probably the ticket. Let's take an example with the Figma. Could they add a chat box to the Figma? I mean, yeah, they could. I think so. But what are they trying to do is that they try to add AI that is connected to the customers that they're using their product. Renaming layers or Figma Make, which is like more targeted AI. So it just makes sense. When I was trying, for example, even the Gemini Canvas, but then I was using the Figma Make, what I saw is that Figma Make is just somehow is a little bit better for me personally. I know it's like all subjective, but it just was like a little bit better for me. It was really better at getting what I want it to do. We need correct design processes back. Going back to our users. Who are they? What are their jobs to be done? And where AI could be introduced mindfully to support these jobs. We are still adding so much AI. There are platforms right now that just like adding like the AI chat, this magic box, which will just do whatever our users want. But hold on, isn't it our job to kind of also tailor the package that we sell to our customers? There's going to be right now like a big thing about deterministic and non-deterministic interfaces. So previously, we've been building the systems, with like user flow, and we knew where our customers and users will go from point A to B with a couple of potential parallel ways inside the program. So for example, if I go and order something, it's a pretty linear way, right? I select the product, I add it to the basket, I then provide my address details, I provide my payment details. It's the pretty like, okay, here's the point A, B, and I'm like following the steps. With AI, we have non-deterministic interface because I open this chat box and it almost feels like you can do whatever. I can ask so many things and it will produce so many new things. It's an evolving interface, which is exciting and cool. But I would say it's mostly exciting and cool if it's what you want to do, play around with the interface. And for us, like tech professionals, tech enthusiasts, people who work in informational technologies, that's cool. Let's play around. But when I go back to customers that use products that I'm working on, how many of them sometimes just want also the AI just being targeted to their needs? My client, they added this big chat box. Okay, that system now can do whatever, right? Like you can ask the AI anything inside it, and then you would just like receive an output and you can use it. But when we try to do such a broad non-deterministic thing without any guardrails, we are basically putting all the work on our users to think about how the AI may be used in their work, and then it's still not going to be enough to compete with like these big companies whose product is just AI, not the platform or service with added AI, but just the AI. I just wish we would think more about AI from the design perspective as to, okay, it's not supposed to be just like the open box. How can we tailor it a little bit better to our customers? Maybe our AI, for example, my client working with a lot of financial documents, yeah, maybe this AI won't have like this expensive library and knowledge talking about, I don't know, astronomy, but that it will be really cool and targeted specifically to the things that users can do on the platform, right? And therefore they will be using this not just everything magic box, but the magic box that is, okay, I'm here, I know who you are, I know what you're doing, let's work together. I'm here, you don't have to tell me everything from the start, the blank space, who you are, what you do, how you want me to craft responses, etc. I'm here, I'm really for you. I'm also in this, your environment. How cool it would be to be like that. I also want to touch upon the article that I wrote together with my company Transcenda that I'm currently working with. There's a couple of great things that I want to talk about. It's how to assess UX quality in AI-powered products, and it's again all connected to what I've been saying, that we need to bring back the design process into AI added services to our products. Just adding sparkles and saying, here's AI. It's not enough. Let's make AI applicable and usable, that we as professionals will know where it belongs in user journey, etc., even though it's a non-deterministic interface. Things that I like here is that we will actually start from the end, is that methods and metrics for evaluating AI-powered UX. And you can see that we need to go back to available methods in design, how we usually were doing that before, such as user interviews, sales studies. Embedding feedback, right? Those things are so important. And yet, I know that a lot of companies, they're right now like so focused on adding the AI, and they want to expand their portfolio of AI available services within the product so fast that they kind of don't have time to go back to already shipped things and just work on the iterating those. I also want to show you that was the incredible article by Katarzyna Sitkowska. I think it's so great. Using traditional design approach to evaluating the feature, its efficacy, and other things. Let me actually move myself out of the way here a little bit. Okay. What we see is measuring UX, in AI-powered tools. I will be on here. My favorite was we need to go just from numbers to also like how users perceive the feature. For example, the confidence metrics, percentage of AI responses accepted without rephrasing or retries, right? Not just that you send a prompt and you receive the answer. Can we bring more data and analyze how much time it was taken you as a professional to go like back and forth with the AI service in order to get the desired result? And also, again, we should know the desired result. If you're working in products that just have embedding AI to serve the specific customer that this product has or like this service has, we kind of should know what our customers and users try to do. So the confidence metrics, so great. Or we have, right, the user effort rate, average number of prompts or corrections needed to reach a satisfactory result, retention and conversion uplift, behavioral differences between AI users and non-users, love it. Or the feature adoption rate, percentage of active users engaging with the AI feature. What I see right now is that when AI is added, people will try it. It is interesting, why not? But then if like the quality fails, if you cannot reach your goal, well, how often then would you go back? Or maybe you reached goal, maybe you wanted to draft a response, but it took you so much time to get exactly what you want from that specific AI, you might as well actually start doing it yourself, or leaving the service altogether and going back to more broad AI services such as like ChatGPT, Claude, etc. Another is support feedback and satisfaction, volume of sentiment of AI related feedback. Gosh. I think with all the things happening right now with AI, I fully get why so many companies worried about AI training on their data, and that makes sense. We will talk about this just in a few. But sometimes what we fail to see is that sometimes we just need to see, are we getting actually any AI related feedback? Not in terms of, oh, let's use all the information to train the model. No, I'm talking about more general. Can we see, even if it's gonna be like over doctor or something, can we see the amount of tries and prompts? Can we measure how much of AI feedback we're getting from users, etc.? Like, do we have like that feedback loop anyway? My customer, for example, they do have small feedback things that users can leave, but almost no one uses them. It's not good. We should analyze it, and we should do it using right our favorite design processes and approaches that we've been using before AI. Because AI, it's a technology, and it's up to us professionals see how we can mold this technology to be more meaningful. Another favorite thing that I saw from there, cognitive load index. Self-reported effort required to understand and use the system. We need to talk to users. Just adding a very shiny system and saying how cool is this, it's not enough. Let's ask them, how was it for them? Was it just like exciting trying something new? Or was it unpleasant because they had to do a lot of things? Or maybe they didn't know how to use the things. Then we also have like design ops maturity, cognitive load pulse, team reported effort and complexity in designing AI features. Going back to what I was saying, is that right now companies are so focused to add in more AI features that they not necessarily always having the time or budget or resources or everything to go back to already shipped AI features and like start to iterate on them. AI features are very complex to develop. There are so many technical things that are happening. It's almost always goes out of bound of planned allocated time just because it's such a new technology that nobody knows what will happen there and there, how it will react, what we can afford as a company. UX ownership index. Percentage of AI initiatives with UX involved in key product decisions. I can die on this hill. Let's bring back the design to the process of creating products. Let's bring the design back. It's not just about adding new shiny sticker. We have AI. It's about the AI that is tailored for your customers. Because again, trying to create the next big thing, you might be competing with huge companies with huge budget, and the companies are just working on the AI, not like some other services powered by AI. It's a game to lose. I think so. We also have the ethical readiness pulse, team preparedness to identify and address ethical risks. This is why you have to have design inside of it, because designers are usually the people, the professionals will be like trying to evaluate all the things. We'll talk about this. This is what I was trying to say, that we should bring back the design to adding the AI features to our products and platforms. And not only like the more classic approaches that we've been already using, but some of those new ones, right? Where we adapt the existing research methods and gather like some more metrics, which is exciting. Why should we also bring back the design into the AI talk? We need to do the responsible innovation. And AI has some problem with that. Unfortunately, that's true. We are trying to add these features to our services and saying how great they are, yet almost any time when you open any article about AI, you can see and you think about how it was taking the data it was trained on unethically, and about the copyright infringements and problems, etc., and how AI can be trained on your personal data, even though they say it won't be, but then it could be, or there could be like some leak. I think it was, what was it? That was with some service where they leaked personal conversations and made them available. Was it something Google related? I'm sorry, I don't remember. What I'm trying to say is that seeing all these articles, it's hard to trust AI, right? And then you start to see it in your work environment. Hey, I'm just like your new assistant. I'm just here to help you. And yet the thing is like, actually, I'm trying to take away your job. How do we go anywhere from here? This is where I want to talk about the ethics of artificial intelligence, and also what it means for us as designers, adding those things to products. Let's go back to another incredible article that you can find on Interaction Design Foundations. By the way, All the links to these articles will be somewhere in the description to this episode. So you can go and read those for yourself, and I highly recommend it. So this article is called AI Challenges and How We Can Overcome Them, How to Design for Trust. Again, designing, right? Bringing back the design to AI, not just saying, hey, here's a great new feature. Designing for trust. There were like a couple of things that I think so important that we need to talk about, and we need to design, and we need to address those in designs for AI powered features. We need to clearly communicate where does your system get its data. Indicate sources where possible. This is why you sometimes see footnotes that this chat doesn't train on your data or that your data is safe. Those are important. You have to say those, otherwise users will be feared. What user-generated information does the system use? For example, does the system rely on other users to provide data? How does your system learn from user data? What are the chances of errors? This is why we also have the footnotes. Try to check the data that any AI chat or any AI capability produces, that you still have to look out for the mistakes, because none of the algorithms, I think like the best algorithm we have is still like reaches only 80% of accuracy. So the 20% there still would be like hallucinations or just untruthful information. You have to communicate that. So if your system relies on personal data, such as location data, demographic information, or web users metrics, always collect this information with full consent. Ask users to explicitly opt in to share information instead of asking them to turn off the setting, and allow the user to use the solution without providing any personal data. Characteristics of a trustworthy AI system. It's valid and reliable, so validity refers to the system's ability to meet user needs, not just adding the feature, but bringing back it to our customer journeys, making sure that it's embedded nicely and that it will really help users achieve their goal. I love it. Also, it's safe. AI systems must never cause harm to their users. You know, the algorithm is imperfect. What can we do to mitigate this risk or to communicate this risk? What type of guardrails we are providing as a company at all? And can we surface anything of this in design? And what you can see right now when I'm talking about design, I'm not talking about just like the visual part. It's also the communication. Everything's design. I believe like the content design, the content strategy, then the user experience design, then the visual design. The system should be transparent, right? Transparency refers to the extent to which users can get information about an AI system throughout its life cycle. The more transparent the system is, the more likely people are to trust it. This is why some services for now started to add the thinking steps, like visualization, or the links to resources that the system been using to generate this or certain answer. I think all of this helps to build the transparency, which specifically data point was used to generate this answer, that you can also go and take a look yourself to compare if AI took the correct chunk of information and also then generated information based on that chunk also correctly. It's accountability, traceability, which might be super important for some systems where we will be introducing AI. With my current client, where we're introducing AI, this is why I'm fighting to add good citations so that whenever AI chat generates any piece of information, you can see to which specific text from any document or whatever it was taken from, because then you as the customer, as a user, you are doing your job. You will have to be responsible for anything that you create and put into this official document. You just want to be sure yourself that, oh yeah, I personally know where it's coming from. I can trust it. Otherwise, you might be held accountable. And I think it was actually a quote from one of our users that I cannot just go and take whatever the AI chat said to me. I need to create almost like a catalog of the things against it was formed the answer. Otherwise, you just cannot use it in official documents. It's too dangerous, too risky. Those were like a couple of things that I wanted to mention, AI challenges, and the thing that we should include into design. The other article that I would really like to recommend is from UNESCO, Ethics of Artificial Intelligence, kind of like recommendations. The thing I like here is that getting AI governance right is one of the most consequential challenges of our time, calling for mutual learning based on the lessons and good practices emerging from the different jurisdictions around the world. Makes sense. I also think that this article is a great piece that you can take the information from in order to communicate with your stakeholders, shareholders, and overall colleagues in order to bring more ethical and overall awareness based design to even this new feature. Human rights approach to it: proportionality and do no harm, safety and security, right to privacy and data protection, responsibility and accountability, human oversight and determination, sustainability, fairness, non-discrimination. It is like very important, because previously I was talking more about the mechanics of the AI, but this one is great in order to assess the quality of responses, because nobody can control the AI responses to 100% extent. Bringing back the policies and overall these categories of thinking will also help us evaluate the responses. And this is where it's coming from the previous thing I said, where it's so hard right now for some companies because like they promise that AIs are not trained on the customer's data, but it goes to such big extent that then you don't have like any access to any responses generated by AI. The team that is responsible for creating such service, they not usually or sometimes like at all don't have access to see what was generated, and not like to train the data or like to break the trust. It's about, hey, do we think that these responses are okay? Are they ethical? Should we raise some flags? Because if we could prevent AI from generating sometimes obnoxious content, we probably would. I hope so. I think it was like with the Google, they pretty recently did the AI for kids, right? I need to find this. So there was like, yes, that was the Google Gemini for kids. While the organization found that Google's AI clearly told kids it was a computer, not a friend, something that's associated with helping drive delusional thinking and psychosis in emotionally vulnerable individuals, and it did suggest that there was room for improvement across several other fronts. Common Sense said that Gemini's under 13 and teen experience tiers both appear to be the adult versions of Gemini under the hood, with only some additional safety features added on top. The organization believes that AI products, to be truly safe for kids, they should be built with child safety in mind. The last article that I wanted to touch upon about the AI and design, it's a very great article by Marta Vulsek, Designing for AI, 4 challenges for designers when designing AI-powered products and services. The one that we already talked through, non-deterministic behaviors, how hard it is sometimes to put the guardrails around all of this experience. So here we have like the unpredictable nature of machine behavior of AI systems poses a challenge for designers, since it can cause biases, dangerous mistakes, and undesirable outcomes that could have negative societal impact. You can go back to all the previous points that we already talked through, right? We also can have true positives, true negatives, which is the best scenarios, but we can also have false negatives and false positives, and what kind of feedback loop we have, what kind of quality flags and checks we have in place, and it should be embedded into the design process. We cannot just add the feature and hope it will be all okay. I really wish we would be mindful about it. Yep, we add in a beast to our system, and we will do our best to make sure that it never goes out of place. And when it will go out of place, because it cannot be accurate, when it will go out of place, we are able to recognize it as fast as possible and do all the necessary steps to make it go back into its lane. The second one, I just thank you to the author of this article. It touches the deepest parts of my heart. Absence of human-centered design in AI development. So another challenge is the absence of human-centered design processes among AI engineers who often claim to be capable of designing interactions by themselves. To address this issue, AI engineers should collaborate with designers. I just noticed you're gonna see the whole text. I'm sorry, I will move myself out of the way. To address the issue, AI engineers should collaborate with designers. Thank you. To leverage their skills and knowledge to design AI systems that align with human-centered design principles. One possible solution would be to use modeling diagrams in the requirement stage of the AI design process to represent the flow of information and data between different components of the system, including user interfaces, AI algorithms, and data sources. Going back to all the points we previously discussed, the ethics and the overall our need to build the very trustworthy, transparent system. And the next one that I want overall to touch upon is the fourth one from here, is the human-machine collaboration. Designing for collaboration between users and AI is also a major challenge for designers. Some researchers suggest that the future human-computer interaction should explore whether humans and AI agents can actually work together as the real team members, or whether AI agents should merely serve as a super tool or as a butler. Therefore, designers need to design for human-machine hybrid intelligence, human-machine teaming, human-machine process, or human-AI co-creation. How much of a voice and control you still have as a human in this interaction, or how much do you delegate to AI? That was also something that we touched upon in the article that I wrote together with Transcenda. And it's been the delegation paradox, right? Is AI a tool that you use, a colleague, your personal butler? How people are comfortable with AI doing the whole thing for them, or do they want to have a greater control, benefits, and drawbacks to any of these methods? If AI is just a tool, you have a lot of control, but that means we may limit like capability utilization because AI couldn't do a lot of advanced things for you. But if you have AI as a GUI, for example, right? How do you negotiate with it? How do you do the shared decision making? Are you still like held more responsible in this cooperation? If anything goes wrong, will it be you who will be asked a lot of questions? Hey, but you were supposed to look after your colleague, AI colleague, because it's just a machine. It was your job. You see, so many things we have to address as designers, and it's time for us to think about utilizing best design principles when we add any AI features, AI capabilities, AI powered things, doesn't matter, to our products. Not only should we follow better design processes in order just to create better offer so that this AI is understanding of your needs and your jobs to be done and can help you with a lot of things, but also so that we follow the best practices overall in general, making sure that the environment is safe and sustainable. I'm not anti-AI, but I'm thinking that we should not put just the full trust in saying, hey, it's so great. We need to be mindful. We need to be mindful about everything we do in life. And AI, it's not different than any other feature we have that is working with our data and tries to help us something achieve in this online world that we have. That was such a rant. I was feeling that like I needed to say it for such a long time, and I'm so glad that I was able to put it all into this episode. We need to pay attention. We need to bring back the better design practices, not just to make AI efficient and look good, but so just that it could be sustainable long term, that we don't break users' trust and etc. just because we needed to add this big new shiny thing. But along the way, we did so many mistakes that now people stop trusting us like as a company overall. Please let me know your thoughts anywhere in the comments. I really appreciate you spending this time with me, and I will see you on my next episodes. Bye.